Hi, friends. Welcome back to Love Good Kitchen. My name is Matthew. I'm so glad you're here. So, I've been saying for a few weeks now, probably longer, that I should give you all a little tour of my kitchen. Um, it won't take long in terms of size because I do have a very small kitchen, but we've done a lot to it, and I do like it. It is functional. We have good flow from that whole theory of 3 points between the fridge, the stove, and the sink, whatnot. That all works well. So I'm happy with my kitchen, but there are a bunch of things that I would like to share, and maybe you would be interested in seeing what we've got going on. Once again, I am not dressed up. It's early in the morning when I'm filming this, and the boys are still asleep and occupied. So we'll try to get this in there before they get up. And what else can I mention? Oh, I am my own cameraman. So when I take you on a little tour around and show you some things, um, I will be holding the camera. So you might see my hands and whatnot, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, without further ado, come on in. Let's take a tour. So first, I'll show you this cart that's on wheels, and I think we got it from Wayfair, but it's great. It has a few shelves. We've got the two drawers where we have some things, but it's got a stainless steel top, and this. Let's see if I can show you it all. It does move, so oftentimes I will wheel this around over there and I'll use it as additional counter space because it is true, we don't have a whole lot of counter space here in our kitchen. This area, my husband likes to call the mud room. When we saw the house before we bought it, they were using this as an eat-in kitchen, but we had this installed here, this great bench and shelving. We put all our coats and shoes and everything there. We use that all the time. We like that a lot. And then we ordered this bench here that can go to the countertop. Luke likes to sit there and do emails and various things. Aren't these curtains cute? So not usually my thing, but I thought it went well with the vibe of our kitchen. What we had there when we moved in, they were sort of plain white, scrunched up curtains. So I thought, we can do better than that. So I found these red check ones online, and I did cinch them up a little higher than how they came, but I like those. Okay, so here's the view from when you walk in our side door. And I'm sure the first thing that you'll notice is that have any doors on our cabinets except for over there above the microwave. We did keep the lower doors on, but the cabinets were not in the best shape, and so we had some problems with some of the hardware and some of the doors, and so we just decided to remove them and have open shelving. And I know it's not for everybody, but we like it a lot, especially with a lot of the colorful and beautiful dishware and other collectible items that I have. I thought, why not show it off and enjoy it? So that's what we've done here. And then we also painted the upper cabinets this really pretty green color, and then sort of a peacock blue on the bottom that you can see there. So yeah, I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to show you some of my individual collections, because like right up here, that's a vintage Pyrex piece. I'll show you my Pyrex collection in another video. We've got some Pyrex mixing bowls. One of them is the Cinderella style, and we have some casserole dishes up there. But anyway, I'll show you those things a little later. This little pot here, I love. It's coated or enameled cast iron. I actually got it at Aldi, my favorite store. Um, and also, speaking of Aldi, this electric kettle I love. I just got that a couple months ago at Aldi, and I can boil water in that electric kettle in under 2 minutes. I can actually do it faster in that than I can if I try to heat it in the microwave, or certainly if I do it in the kettle on the stove. So I like that. Another thing that you may notice is our countertops. And I'll be totally honest, it was a complete pain in the ass and it took a long time. But this is a faux finish. I bought one of those kits. And so this one is supposed to look like, what is it supposed to look like? Quartz, I believe. And they had a couple different color tones to choose from. But I do love the way it turned out. The countertops were a beige tan formica. They were not in the best shape, but even though our kitchen is small, everything is so expensive. We don't have the money to replace cabinetry or countertops. So, like I said, it's not hard to do, but it does take a long time and it's a pain in the ass. But we did it and we're pretty happy with the results. So that's what we did with the countertops. We did replace the dishwasher about a year ago, and the one we had, it still worked, but a lot of the prongs on the racks were broken off or rusted, and so it just got to the point where I said, we need to do something. So we did. You're going to see some stuff sitting out on the counters. There are a few dirty dishes and whatnot. Like I have said before, this is real life. So this is how our kitchen is a lot of the time. I try to keep it tidy and clean. We do the best we can, right? We did also replace the sink. There was a beige porcelain sink that was very shallow that was here when we moved in. It was horrible. I don't know who thought that having a beige porcelain sink was a good idea as far as keeping it clean and scratches, and it was just, I didn't care for that. So we had this installed with this great faucet, which, by the way, when did faucets get so expensive? But I don't know. I guess everything is expensive now. And then this is a Ree Drummond, a Pioneer Woman crock for utensils. I think it's meant to be for storage, but I use it. Everything on this side is for dirty things that need to be washed. So I keep my larger utensils in there as they're waiting for the suds. And then these are supposed to be serving trays, but we use them for little odds and ends and the kids' flatware and stuff as it's waiting. And then this we just got, it's just like a foam easy dry drying mat that I got at Walmart, I think, because I decided that we needed some extra space. And the countertop treatment, it is durable, but I do think that the less you can keep things from scraping across the top, that poly surface, it is going to last longer. Anyway, so here are some of my dishes. Now, these pasta bowls, which I love, these soup or cereal bowls, well, I use them for cereal. And then these dinner plates and the salad plate, those are Pioneer Woman, and those are a somewhat recent addition to our kitchen. For the longest time, I had a collection of mismatched plates and bowls and everything, which I loved. I'd collected them from thrift stores and consignment shops and you name it over the years. But Luke didn't like that. So I finally gave in and we got some of those. And we like them a lot. I do use, this is just some clearance remnant fleece fabric that I cut into little squares. And I do put it in between the plates because they have there's just a ring on the bottom that's a little bit unfinished. and I think that helps them from sliding around when you're eating and whatnot. But I feel like over time it's going to scratch if they're stacked like this. I'd love to have a plate rack where they're vertical, but we don't have that. So this is what I do for now. It's working well, and it's not really that hard. So what we do. In another video, I'll talk more about my Fiesta collection. These are two large Fiesta bowls. I did not purchase those. they're very expensive if you were to buy them now, but like I said, we'll talk about those another time. And what do we have over here? So I always said, and Luke, my husband, likes to make fun of me. And these are all, they're the same collection, but they're different. There are, I think, 6 different designs for these little side plates. But I always said I was never going to do like a country kitchen where you had like geese with neckties and pigs in bows and that sort of thing. It's just not my bag. And so these are, I don't think they're wearing neckties, but they are kind of cutesy country, but I like the colors and I like the designs. I thought it went well with our other stuff. So there you go. I've got some Harlequin bowls, which is sort of a Fiesta cousin. Some of our cups. Aren't these beautiful? These were from our friend April. Actually, they might have been given to Luke before we got together, but beautiful glass, drinking glasses. We did get a new stove when we moved in, and that was a go from the get-go because I do a lot of cooking and baking, and so we use our double oven. I use it almost daily. Gets a lot of use. And this is a what am I trying to say? A flat induction cooktop, and I like it a lot. A lot of people think that they can't keep it clean, but I haven't had any problems whatsoever. But I will say that if you do have a spill or a mess, you need to clean it up right away. Don't just let it sit, because then that's when we have problems. But this is older. This is from when Luke had his townhouse. And sometimes it's a pain because you have to take it off to use the stove. But it does provide us some more work space when we have that cover on. Let's see, the microwave, that is also new. My brother-in-law put in that shelf and installed all of that, which is great. And we found this sort of retro looking microwave, which we like a lot. I've got some of my dish towels and kitchen towels there. My utensil crock, this is from our friend James, and it's actually an ice, what is it called? An ice chest, an ice bin, ice bucket. There we go. But I love it, and I love the color. So I took the lid off, and we use that there for those. I just want to mention this long cabinet where I have some of my sheet pans that I use all the time. There's my Pampered Chef stone bar pan. But notable because our previous house where we lived in Council Bluffs, we had a huge kitchen. At least compared to the overall size of the house, it was a large kitchen. I had lots of cabinet space, a lot of counter space. But something very odd is that there were no vertical cabinets where you could put sheet pans or cookie sheets or anything of that size. I had to lay them flat because of the way the shelves and things stuck out. There was nowhere to do that. I think that's very odd. So this, we have that here, and I am enjoying that. So our house was built in 1963, and a lot of the updates that were done to our house, including the kitchen, were done in the late 80s and early 90s. So there we go. That would explain some of the choices being made. Obviously, this is the kid area. We've got baby bottles and sippy cups. And I do have some of my aprons and oven mitts over on the side, and some um, storage containers up top. But don't you love that wallpaper? We saw it and we loved it immediately. I think we ordered that from Sherwin-Williams, and we love it. I'll show you a quick peek out in the dining room. We have a larger wall of that there. But there's my Pampered Chef stand mixer. I do still have a um, KitchenAid stand mixer that I do use from time to time, especially if I need multiple mixers going. Um, but some other video I'll talk about that. It is a superior stand mixer. So if you've been looking at one, we can talk about that. We've got our little coffee station here. This little this little Mr. Coffee 5-cup coffee maker, I think is, oh gosh, maybe 15 years old, and I think we got it at Walmart, but it's still running, and I love it, and it makes just enough to fill my to-go coffee cup in the morning. You can see our refrigerator is covered with photos and kid artwork and such. We said from the beginning that we weren't going to do that, but it turns out when you take stuff off of the fridge that your kids have made, they notice. So we kind of have to be judicious. That's not the right word, but with how we do the artwork. I do have a pantry. We have our calendars on the doors. It's not huge, but I try to keep it somewhat organized. See the broom in there. I have all my baking stuff there up top. So there is that. And some other time I'll show you out in the garage. I have some shelving where I have some of my other pots and pans and kitchen tools and such. And then down here is where I have some of my cookbooks, and then we do have some baking pans down there. I think this is intended to be like a computer station or a little desk area, which we don't really need that there, so I'm utilizing it in this way. And here is a view from this angle into the kitchen. Oh, and I didn't mention the backsplash. So that was brown and maroon and sort of an olive green glass tile pattern, which definitely didn't go with everything that we've got going on in here now. So Luke actually painted the backsplash. He painted it yellow. We had picked out a different color at first because we were worried about too pale of a yellow. But what we had put on there originally, it was a terrible color. It just wasn't working. So then he found this and put it up, and then he put a clear coat on top, and he did a great job. It looks really good. Also, this window shade, there were like lacy frilly curtains, which didn't really go with what we've got going on. So I ordered this old school roller shade that's a little bit more fitting with the retro vibe. I would have liked to have had the little round disc that used to be on the pull cord, but turns out they don't make those anymore because pull cords are a safety hazard with little ones, so we don't want to do that. But yeah, so I do like the roller shade. The vibe that we have going on in our kitchen, we like to say, is retro on purpose. You know what I mean? Sometimes people have older kitchens and it's just because they're old. But we try to do things on purpose to give it kind of a throwback feel, but kind of fun. Let me just give you a quick peek into, this is the dining room. And there is some Play-Doh and a Peppa Pig sign. But I bought this rack, and that houses a lot of my Fiesta ware. There are some other pieces that aren't Fiesta on there, but I'll show you that in another video when we talk about some of my collections. But Got some really beautiful pieces. Some of it I got, and some of it I inherited or it was given to me. But here is that wall of wallpaper above the chair rail. I just love it. And that mirror I've had for a long time. I had that at my apartment when I lived on my own. Okay, friends, I hope you enjoyed that little tour of our kitchen. And it's still a work in progress. I'm sure we're going to keep changing and adding and whatnot. But I thought that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that little peek and the little chat. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe if you haven't. It helps out my channel. And then that way you'll be notified when we post a new video. I hope to keep trying out different things in addition to recipes and cooking with you because it's fun. Let's be friends on the internet and talk about kitchen things and food and recipes and all kinds of stuff. Like I mentioned, I hope at some point to do a video where I show you some of my collections of Pyrex and Fiesta and some other vintage items, as well as some of my favorite Pampered Chef items, because I am a Pampered Chef consultant, in case some of you didn't know. And what else? Oh, I thought we could chat about how I organize my cookbooks and arrange some of my menus, which I do on a weekly basis, because maybe you'll find that interesting or entertaining, or you might get some inspiration for things that you can utilize in your world. At any rate, I thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. It was fun, and I will see you next time.